to the live stream. We have some fun for you today. Hello, welcome. I'm Coach Newton. We've got WW19VR with us as a guest. We're really excited to see you guys here. Going live stream. This is our first episode. Welcome. We're kind of excited. I'm nervous because I'm like, what am I going to do wrong in the scene? So I've got V here to help me. He's going to be my assistant coach today. So we're going to be doing some Scratch. I kind of wanted to show you a little bit of fun here. One of the things that you want to avoid is see if you can avoid getting hit by the bus. The coach's code bus, the code coach. Hopefully you can hear that rattly engine. So I kind of like this. Believe it or not, that's a Scratch program. So at the end of today's episode, I'm going to ask some of you that come back next Saturday, submit your green screen Scratch project so I can put that here instead. So I'm really excited to have V coding with us and helping out. So let me explain a couple of things. There are a lot of people that are new to Scratch. So I'm going to close a couple windows here. So I'm Coach Newton. I'm with Panucation. This is for beginning coders, advanced coders. We're going to have a live stream every Saturday this February. And if there's enough momentum, I'd like to keep it going on Saturday. So same time next week as well. Today we're going to have a theme, but I want to make sure anyone who's new to Scratch has a chance to kind of learn a little bit about it. So we're going to do a little bit of getting help from V here. One of the big things is this is the website, scratch.mit.edu. And one of the most important things is reading through this, right? I think their guidelines are really nice, right? Be respectful. Be constructive, share, remixing. Don't ever share personal information on Scratch or any website, right? So it's private. So there's a big difference between private and personal preferences of things you like versus information that identifies you. Be honest, don't impersonate people. And we're really intending it's a community of learners just like you, different levels. So V's been coding with me since we met a long time ago at one of the library sessions I had, and his brother codes along with us as well. So it's been great to see like his experience going up. So I want to welcome all new coders to Scratch. So these are the guidelines, and I'm logged in. So if you're new to Scratch, talk to your parents about getting an account. Because what we're going to be doing today in order to interact with us, we are going to be looking at the comments section. So V is going to be watching that. I'll explain what I mean. And then we're going to create a project based on a theme that's unique to a special day yesterday. And I'll talk about what that day was. And once you create your project in Scratch, you're part of the community, then you can share your project with us in the studios. So I'm going to talk about Scratch Studios. So again, get your parents' help. Scratch MIT, get your user login if you can. V, any other recommendations you have for new Scratchers?
There's some tutorials also in Scratch. If you're new, and you might want to check those out after the class is over, because they have some cool projects and they walk you through how to do it and different blocks.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, I love that insight. I appreciate that help. Your perspective is different as a learner, so I love having you on because you've seen it from the ground up. So this is the studio we're using. So for some of you, if you're new to the live stream or you're watching a recorded version, the link to this studio is in the YouTube text description below. So for some reason, if you RSVP with your parents and you get information, I send that out in advance. But in case you're joining now, you can look at those links. So this is the studio, so Saturday Morning Code with Coach. This is episode 1. This is the fresh start, so we'll be back next Saturday. And here's the fun part. In this studio, you see we've been having classes in Zoom in January as practice. So some of you viewers out there, gosh, I'm hoping the live stream has somebody out there. I don't want to get distracted and check into that live now, but we're looking at the comments of this project. So you'll see, let me make sure my mouse is, this project is called SMC, Saturday Morning Code with Coach Comments. I put this in here, and I'll click on that here in the tab. And what we're doing is if I refresh it, it'll kind of download the latest, and this is where we'll get interaction. So there's V right there, WW19VR. He says, cool. Hey, we've got Jax Vader 4 watching live stream. Yay! Hey, I haven't seen 19 Shark. Oh, I haven't seen you since last year. And WA20 Bat, that's my student account. So, all right, so we're trying to keep an eye on the chat. There may be a little bit of a delay when we see your comments, but I want you to know we are looking at that. So welcome to the live stream. And if you're watching and you haven't commented here, please let me know. Anybody who I see comments in here, I will add you to the studio as a curator. So right now, sorry, V, I haven't put you in yet either. You can tell we put together some things at the last minute, but I will be adding students that want to be curators. If you type in the comments, say, please add me as curator. So again, I only do stuff if you'd like to be part of it, and it'll just make it easier for you to share your projects in the studio. So again, we're going to keep kind of looking at this from time to time, and this is my starting point. Again, if you're new to Scratch, today we're going to go and create from the beginning. So I'm going to click Create. Now, even if you don't have an account on Scratch, you can do this part. Okay, so don't hesitate if you're like, oh, I don't have a Scratch account. I'm watching this video recording. I can't do this. You can still create, and you will save your project, your creation, to your desktop. And then later, if you get an account with your parents' help, have them contact me. I'll give contact information at the end. We'll help get you set up, answer any questions. But again, Scratch is from the MIT Media Learning Group. It's provided free of charge. I've used it for many years. I use code.org, Google, CS First. Scratch is a wonderful creative multimedia tool. So you'll see part of that adventure today. So I'm going to click Create, and we'll start seeing here. And if I have to, we'll move Varen and I out of the way here a little bit. All right, so let's see. Let's set us up over here like, whoa. I don't know. You can tell me in the chat where to go. I'm going to hide over here with the sprites for a little bit, and I'm going to move Varen here. I like this. All right, we got dynamic video. So this way you can kind of see the Scratch setup. And today, let me go back to the theme. So also, yesterday was a special day. It was Western Monarch Day. This web link is also in the YouTube description. So if you want to click on that on a separate tab to kind of get an idea. And the reason I picked this theme is yesterday was designated back in, I think, 2004. The Western monarchs migrate, and one of the problems they're having is, I didn't know this until I read about it, is their milkweed plants are getting destroyed, as well as a lot of their home territory is in Mexico. Some of the forests there are also getting destroyed. So there are efforts out to plant more milkweed plants, right? So if there's no milkweed up along the coast here, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. We've got viewers from Washington State, Idaho, maybe even Virginia, Pennsylvania today, I'm not sure. But wherever you are, be aware of milkweed. So I thought it would be kind of fun to create the project based on that. What do you think, Varen?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have it like based on a holiday that was just yesterday on mine.
Okay, awesome. So help me out. I'm going to go, do you want to design separate from me, or do you want to guide me as I go? What do you prefer to do? We're going to
We can do kind of a combination of both.
Got it. Okay, so let me launch at how I'm starting. So in Scratch, hopefully my whole window is showing up. Let me just see. Hold on. Let me just check the video stream. I want to make sure people can see the lower corner. It looks like some of it is getting cut off, unfortunately. So let me just change something. I had it at 125%. There, I think you can see the whole window. I was trying to make it a little bit bigger so people could see. But I wanted everyone to be able to see down here where I've got my mouse. So once you've clicked Create in Scratch, this is your starting window here. And the commands that you're going to be giving your characters are here. There are different types of commands. I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining everything. I prefer to let's just dive in and do it. With computer science and coding, making mistakes is really part. I don't know, Varen, what's been your experience? Did you find it a struggle to be okay with making errors, and that was part of the coding learning?
Sometimes it was frustrating. When I was coding, I couldn't figure out where to go. So then I usually got help from Coach Newton, and he helped me figure out what I was supposed to do, what bug I had in my code.
All right. So I'm hoping, it's a process. I think it's important because there's so many subjects and things that are taught where you're told not to make any errors. And honestly, in coding, if you are making mistakes, that means you're learning and you're trying to do something unique and incredible. So it's one of the fun things I have is telling people, please mess up. And you can't hurt Scratch, right? So the worst that can happen is the program doesn't do as Varen says. It's frustrating because you're like, wait a minute, I wanted the computer robot to do this, and it has no intelligence, so it's just following our command. So I wanted to start with the butterfly. So we need a butterfly character, and in Scratch, let's pick from one of the two here. So if you go down here to pick a sprite, we're going to go. So the theme is the Monarch butterfly. So I'll show that again really quick if anybody missed it. Down here in Scratch, you see choose a sprite, and we're going to do a paint as well, but let's choose a sprite first. So sprites are our characters that we're going to mess with. And I'm going to scroll down here. Now, whoa, my butterfly color. What color does that look like to you? It looks really dark. I think my green screen is messing with the color of the butterfly. That is wild. I'm going to use this butterfly as I hover, butterfly 1. But if somebody wants to use butterfly 2, you can use that as well. And then there's some other buttons. Now your screens are going to look different. So your butterfly is going to be more green. So this is kind of strange. This is something I hadn't seen before. It's probably because of the live stream color matching. So I'm clicking on that butterfly. And it's interesting. Here I see the correct colors. I think it's because of my green screen. Let's see. Let me move. Yeah, it might be something to do with my green screen. I'll have to figure that out some other time. But I've put the butterfly here. And where should I start it, Varen? Upper right, upper left? What do you think? Middle?
I think you should start it kind of on the bottom so that you can fly up.
Ooh, got it. I'm going to put it here over by my head. How's that? And then for Scratch Cat, do you have any hints on how do people get rid of Scratch Cat?
If you click on the Scratch Cat in the window, it'll move it to the Scratch Cat sprite. And there's a button in the top right corner, a trash can. If you click that, it'll delete that sprite.
Boom. Thank you. Yay. Now that's important. And if you ever panic, one of the things I learned is if you're like, no, I deleted the wrong sprite, you can go up to edit. There is a restore sprite there, so you can bring it back. But honestly, with code, you can always recreate anything. All right, so we've got our butterfly. We need a background, right? So let's pick a nice background. So in Scratch, that's going to be in the stage portion here. So here we go. I'm going to choose a backdrop. What I like about the backdrops, you can pick fantasy, music. The themes are all up here to sort it out. So I'm just going to outdoors. So help me pick one. What do you think? Let's pick an outdoor one. There was a garden one, rock garden. I'm kind of scrolling through. But you at home, you can pick any background you want. What do you think, V?
Maybe the flowers.
Ooh, flowers. There we go. I'm going for flowers. Boom. Now you suddenly see the flowers there. Cut. All right, so we've got our first background, we've got our sprite. Now, what I'd like to do is, since it's going to start from here, let's add the sprite, the Milkweed. So this is where I challenge everyone to draw their own, because I think creating art in Scratch is really nice to see. So in Choose a Sprite, I'm not going to click on it, but I'm going to go to this paintbrush, and click on the paintbrush. And suddenly we've got this little template. So let me move Varen and I out of the way here. We're going to go over to this side for right now, so we're not messing with you. Varen, you're going to shrink. All right. There we go. All right, so this little area here, after we click paint, it creates the very first costume. So I don't know, Varen, how would you start drawing a milkweed? This is a fun test. I'll be your robotic drawer based on your. We want to draw like a milkweed plant. Let's see what they kind of look like. Kind of like that. I don't know. Kind of.
I guess
greenish.
it kind of looks like aloe vera, and then with like a flower in the middle.
Got it. So let's see. I'm going to pick the paintbrush. That's right here. Now, once you pick the paintbrush, we need a color. So here's where you go. You go up to fill, and oh geez, you know what? Because of the green screen, now I'm realizing that's what my color block. I must have a filter on. Oh, my green plant is. All right, so in the live stream, this doesn't look green, but I can verify for you that when you see the project on your computers and we share it, it will be green. See, I learn something new every day. All right, there's something I'll have to fix. All right, so I picked the color. So Vera, what do you start with when you're drawing? Do you use the brush? Do you use shapes? I've kind of gotten the color.
Depends on kind of what I'm drawing.
Okay.
Like if I'm trying to draw, I guess, I don't know, like an animal, then I guess I'll use paint because shapes don't really work.
Got it. So I'm going to try to do a milkweed. So those of you at home, I'm going to kind of go. Now again, this really is green once I save it. Let's see. I'm going to make kind of some more branches. Now this is where, as students of art, you all have to be kind to my artwork. I'm a beginning draw artist. So I love the Scratch rules to be kind. All right, so I kind of created some open spaces. I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see a little bit better what I've done here. Again, the color's kind of off. I apologize for that. I'll pick some. What I'll do is, the reason I use these closed spaces is we can fill these with the bucket. Have you ever tried that, Varen? Have you ever used the bucket?
Yeah, I use the bucket.
Okay. Are you drawing your own? Are you working on your own?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pick this purple fill just because it shows up in the live stream for me right now. So I picked the color, so you'll notice I picked the fill color. And then once I hold the bucket over an area, it kind of fills it in. So there's my scrawny looking purplish milkweed plant. But again, that's the fun of Scratch. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can just be what it is. All right, so I'm going to stop here. As you can tell, there's a lot you can do. Text, some more. We'll be doing that in some future weeks. We'll be adding layers of things. But I wanted you to see that there's my milkweed plant all the way up here now. So I'm going to drag that. What do you think, Varen? I'd like put it in the opposite corner. We're going to have the butterfly fly to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put it up here. Again, you at home could have picked your own backgrounds. Doesn't have to be here, but I am looking forward to seeing some of your milkweed. Let me see if there's any comments so far. Let me just do a little refresh here. I'm sharing the comments window. Jax Vader says, I'm using Dinosaur 4. Nice. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, yeah, I know. MCC, you have a puppy? Wait a minute. A puppy in Scratch? You have a real puppy. I know it. Akita, hey. Akita's here. Yay. Jack says, please. All right. So, yeah, don't forget to put in the note, say, please add me as curator. I'll be doing that after the live stream. All right. We got Shark going. All right, good. We've got some comments. So, I like Akita saying hello as well. So yeah, don't forget that's in the Zoom. If you look at the sorry, not the Zoom, but the live stream on YouTube, down below there's a link to this project. But you can find it in our studio at Saturday Morning Code with Coach Comments. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the creations. All right, so I have 2 sprites. Getting control of my mouse. We've put the butterfly down here and the milkweed up here, and we've picked one background. This is like the basics of getting started with Scratch, wouldn't you say, Baron? Kind of like you've got. Let me move us out of the way.
Yeah, with a background and
okay, whoops.
Sprites.
Hold on, let me grab the right thing. All right. Let's move us a little bit here. I'm going to move us out of the way. All right, so now we're in the code section. So this is our working space here. And let's start with the butterfly. I'm going to click on it. So think of each sprite. Each sprite is a robot that you have to give instructions to, or a team member in a band that has their own sheet music. Everyone has their own separate instructions. So the way you know in Scratch which character sprite you're giving instructions to is you see a little image here and it's highlighted in blue. So now we know that we're going to be giving instructions to the butterfly. So in computers, we've got to tell it where to start. So since we physically put it here on the screen, it uses the X coordinate and the Y coordinate to tell the computer where this actually is, like a little map. So even on Earth, right, we use coordinates. Do you remember, Varen, what they use for tracking? What do we use, like real life?
Latitude and longitude.
Yeah, latitude and longitude. And it's the exact same idea, right? Do you remember which is which? I get confused. I'll admit.
Latitude is north and south, and longitude is east and west.
East and west. All right, very important, latitude and longitude. So those are coordinates for finding an exact location. So if you're going on a treasure hunt, you need that location coordinates, right? So how many times have you watched something like, what are your coordinates? Well, the same thing with the computer. It needs to know where exactly do I put this image. And what's nice is by dragging it to a location, the numbers are populated here for us. So you'll see X is the left and right location and Y is the up and down. And the reason I want you to be aware of that is then when we go over to the code, I'm going to the motion blocks, the 5th one down, there are the numbers, there's the coordinates. So that's the very first instruction I like to have out there, right? Is that make sure at the very beginning, the first thing my little character does when I'm going to start this program or somebody plays it, is it goes to that location. And you'll notice if I click on the block, nothing happens to the butterfly. Why is that, Varen?
Because the sprite's already there.
It's already there, right?
Yeah.
So what do you recommend as like a way to demonstrate it going somewhere else?
You could say, like, just for a demo, go to random location and then click the go to that area.
Okay, watch this. So I'm going to click on random, and there it went. Now watch if I put the blocks together. So in the coding, the order of the instructions are top to bottom. So the computer's going to do this first, then it's going to do this. Let's click on these together. And every time I click on it, it ends up in a random position. Now, help explain, why am I not even seeing it in that starting position anymore?
Because the code's running so fast, you can't really see it going there. It's running really fast, and if you want to see it, you have to add a delay.
Boom. And delay we can find here is one of these orange control blocks. And it's let's try this very first one. So here's where we're going to, and you notice I just put it right into the middle there. So the blocks snap. So now let's see the difference. I'm going to click on the blocks, and there's a starting, ooh, did you see that? For 1 second, it stayed at the starting location, and then it jumped to a random position. So this is a good way to just kind of see the butterfly. Now, for our motion, I think just jumping to a random position is not going to work, but this was a great demo of how the blocks work. So I'm going to throw a piece of code away. If you've never used Scratch before, it's easy. You just toss it back into the blocks. Block. And you'll notice they're all color-coded. So we'll be talking about, ooh, there's an important one there. Yeah, definitely because of green screen. There is a green flag here that's blacked out. Um, this is an important event. Do you want to describe it? What do you think? Do you want to tell people what does this mean when the green
So
flag
what the
is
green
clicked?
flag does really is like it's the start of your code. Like when you click the green flag, it'll automatically start your code. So that's why you put when green flag clicked, so that the code knows that when you click the green flag, then it should start the code.
Awesome, great explanation. And you'll notice those types of commands are shaped in a way that you can't put anything before them. So I like to tell students, right, you have the smartphone and it's waiting for me to click the side button. And as soon as I click it, the screen turns on. Well, that's called an event in computer science. And there are lots of different events here. So the computer is waiting for someone to, because we put this green flag out here, it is waiting for somebody to click the green flag. And so now let's try it. If I click it, my program's running. It's a very simple program. It says go to the beginning and wait for 1 second. And then I took away the jump to a random location. So what I'd like to do is go to the looks block. Let's have our characters introduce themselves. So if you're coding at home, go to the looks, and I was like kind of having it say something. So I'm going to do that without the wait. I'm going to throw the wait away. So what do you think, Varen? What should we say? What should the butterfly say? We want
I
people
think
to.
like maybe, hi, I'm just hungry. Can you help me get to the plant if it's like just a simple code game?
I'm a hungry. Yeah, I'm a hungry monarch. And let's see. I'm going to add another say block. So that way there's a chance for please help get to some milk. I'm going to type it in caps. Weed. I know, well, I didn't know that about milkweed. I would have thought it was just a weed, and I think that's why a lot of people get rid of it, not realizing it's food for the butterflies. So I met a teacher that showed me their class is replanting milkweed in their area of Canada. So I was like, wow, that is wonderful to hear. Okay, so let's try our program. Green flag. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna check comments again. Sorry. I'm gonna do a refresh. Let's just see if there's anything. I know people start working on their code. Hey, we got SP Fox, Latitude, Fatitude. Please add me. Yay! It's a lot easier. Using Piscal to draw. Nice. Thanks for joining. Great to see you. We got Duck Lover. Can I be added? Yes, you can. All right, awesome. Yeah, let me know what you're doing in your projects. We'll look, and then at the end, please, please, please share into this studio. I'm looking at projects here. So we'll be looking later here at the end. So we're going to keep today's program to 45 minutes. I promise. So we are running on tight time. I want to make sure we have a chance to share projects at the end. Okay, so I'm going to go a little faster. See, okay, so we've coded the butterfly. Let's see if we like the way it looks. Hi, I'm a hungry monarch. Please help me get to some milkweed. Okay, and let's have the milkweed say something. What do you think, Varen? So you notice I
I guess
clicked on
it's
the
like,
milkweed. What about like some special spin effect? What do you think? Motion is
or we could
always
have
fun.
like the color change effect.
Ooh, I like that. Good suggestion. So he's talking about looks, and down here, now here's the cool part. These buttons here are kind of like the starts of certain chapters of commands, types of commands. But motion and looks especially, one of the hints is there is a scroll bar. Don't assume you see all of the commands. Sometimes you have to scroll down. And some of the best ones, right, are down here that we use a lot. So are you thinking change color effect, Vi? Is that the one you were thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that. I'm going to drag that out. Now, if I click on it, look at my milkweed plant. Every time I click on it, so you can pick a different number. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't want a big color change, so I try 10. The cool thing with code is you experiment, try the different numbers. Okay, so now you'll notice I'm just clicking it. Let's have the computer like flash through the colors. So one of the things in the control that we realized was not only can we tell the computer to wait so we can see things change, but we can use a repeat to tell it to do something over and over. So I don't want it to repeat forever. There is a forever loop. We can use that. That's pretty powerful too. But try the repeat. I don't know. Let's do like 25 flashes, 50 flashes. What do you think there? Type a number, 50. Some kids like to go crazy and do 1,000.
I think 50 should be fine.
It's just to kind of highlight it at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of fast. Do you normally put a delay when you do yours? Or do you
I
like
put a
that
really
effect?
small delay,
Got it. So let's try it. What's
like
small?
0.2 seconds.
So we're talking about telling the computer to wait. So it changes the color, and I'm going to do 0.2. Oops, 0.2. And then I'm just clicking the blocks to test it. You notice I'm kind of doing that. That just comes from like making sure things are working as you go along. There you go. I kind of like that. And it kind of lasts longer with the delay. Okay, so we need this event, right? We need this to start. And how about it says something so people know, like my drawing does not look like a milkweed. So what should I say as a milkweed plant? That's appropriate. What would a milkweed really say in the real world?
I don't know. Don't eat me.
Don't eat me. How about yikes, a monarch? They are always hungry. Hungry. 2. All right. Now you'll notice if I put a longer sentence, I like to have it on the screen a little bit longer. So I'm going to say, I don't know, 5 seconds. And you notice the code's already kind of running. It's doing the color changing. And because we added a delay, I'm going to reduce the looping to like, I don't know, 30 instead of 50. Yikes, a monarch. They're always hungry too. All right. So remember, at home, you're creating your own story. So I look forward. Please don't just type the same words I do. Use your creative juices. That's the best part. I'm just kind of showing you the tools. Baron is here, is helping me to stay on track. All right, now we need to make something a little interactive, right? What do you think? How do you want to do the butterfly? I wasn't going to necessarily do animation today, but we could do a little bit of animation to fly there. Did you want to do key controlled? What do you think? Or just automatically fly?
I think key control would be fine, or like maybe Flappy Bird style with like, you have to hit the space bar for it to fly.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay, so he just talked about another event, right? So there's an event for clicking the green flag. We want the computer, let's check it out. Ooh, the very second one there is already says spacebar. So let's drag that out. Now you'll notice we can't attach that to anything else. So just so I've kind of zoomed in on the blocks by clicking the plus. So you at home, if you ever want to click equals, it kind of makes it smaller. I wanted to make sure people could see this in the video. So I'm reordering some things here, and then I'm going to zoom in again. So we've added a new event that the computer is now going to watch for us. So it's waiting for the space key to be pressed. So this is where, let's see, what do you think? We could point it always towards the milkweed, so then every time I hit the space key, it flaps and goes towards it. What do you think? I was trying to think of something simple as a starting point. So let's go to motion. So we're going to do motion. Now, I'm going to use this very first block. Now let's test it by clicking it. So there's 10 steps. I'm clicking it again and again. So this is basically 10 pixels. How would you describe pixels to people? Like if somebody says, what's a pixel? How would you describe it? What do you think, Varen?
I think it's kind of small, maybe a bit bigger.
Oh, but how would you describe pixel? Or do you have an idea? Like how, if someone said, what is a pixel?
So it's a small unit of like measurement that's used in like coding. You use it in like Python, C++, Java, Scarlet, Ruby. And like it's basically like we use inches, yards, miles. It's kind of like the same thing except for code.
Yeah, it's the smallest dot on a screen. So if you think about it, you'll notice, right? So if I said, hey, repeat moving 1 pixel at a time 10 times, that gives you a really smooth movement animation. So experiment at home. Good explanation on the pixel. Thanks for doing that. And again, think about like how tiny a dot is on the screen. So it does depend. So some screens back in the day, they talk about resolution of your screen. The higher the resolution, it means they can get more dots in an inch, so the images are more vibrant. So when you do pixel art, you're using one big pixel that takes up a lot of screen space. So the resolution's not as great, but you get some cool art that way. Let's see. So my butterfly, let's go. Let's add this block of code. Let's click the green flag. Hey, I'm a hungry monarch. My milkweed's doing its thing. If I hit the space bar, there's my slow 1 pixel movement. That's kind of slow. What do you think? I like going faster. So remember, coding, you can pick the speed you want. What do you recommend I experiment with here? What do you think?
45.
45? Let's give it a try. Now I'm going to click just this code. Whoa, that was fast. Let's see. Yeah, 45 is a huge step. It like flies across the screen. 200 times 45 basically took my Monarch right off the screen. Let's see. I'm going to try 5. Let's try this. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. Now you'll notice we're not. Oh, what was that?
I found a bug in the code.
Oh, you did? My code? Yes.
So like when you say one space key pressed and repeat 200 times, so like it won't stop until it repeats 200 times and it'll just fly off the screen. So if you do repeat until not key space pressed, then it'll stop as soon as you don't.
As soon as I let go.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. So now you're getting advanced. I like this. All right. So hold on to your horse's new scratchers. Some advanced stuff. So he's saying, all right, I hit the space key. And this tells the computer he's absolutely right. It says, you know what? Go 5 pixels 200 times. What's 200 times 5? 1,000, right? So that's going to go 1,000 pixels. But that's it. I have no further control. So he's like, wait a minute. I want to kind of make it so if someone holds the space key down a lot, they can control when it stops moving. So the code, we have to tell the computer a little bit different. So you wanted to do what? Let's see. We want to do this if not space key. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go down into sensing. And don't worry if you don't understand anything we're doing yet, but that's all right. You can figure it out. And if you know it, this is even better because this is a great way to learn how to make your sprites move. So first I'm dragging out. You'll notice this is a shape, an odd shape, 6-sided figure here. So it's a little bit different than what we've seen in the sensing blocks. And I just want people to see it's down here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's this one, when the key space is pressed. Now I just want everyone to realize in Scratch, when you see these little down arrows, that means you've got lots of options. And the same here. We didn't have to use the space key. So you at home could be using some other key. We're just using the space key this time. But this is how you can program WASD, mouse press games, up arrow, left arrow. We'll be doing that in our future Scratch projects as well. So we're going to say something that says if, then. So this is what you're talking about. He was talking about this. So this is something called a conditional. And this is how computers make decisions. It says, hey, if this is true, then I want you to do some other commands. So here's the tricky part. You'll notice this would fit in there. And this says, hey, if the key space is pressed, you could say, hey, move. But we already have this event here. We have the computer watching that. So we kind of want to say, if the key is no longer pressed, whoops. Oh, geez, that's our 5-minute warning. Oh my gosh. Let me see. We've got to do 5 minutes. Let me check really quick. I do want to see if people are ready to share. Let me look at the comments. This goes really fast. 4 minutes. I'm finished. Can you go to mine in the studio? Yes, yes. Did not cut out the green on the butterfly. Yay, add me, please. All right. Okay, so we're going to start sharing in a bit. Put your projects in the studio. I'll do a refresh on this as well. I'm going to still go back to mine. Let's do this. I'm going to save this for continuing next week, the if key pressed. What I'm going to do is I like where you're going with it. That'll take a little more time, and I'll pick up with that, I think, next week to keep building on it. My window keeps moving. What I'd like to do here is, right now, like you said, it kind of goes for 200 blocks. Oh gosh, I'm clicking on the wrong places. And if I click the space key, it kind of goes across. Well, I want it to point towards the milkweed. And so let's see, I think we can do that in motion. There's a point towards command here. And I'm going to say point towards sprite 1. Now, sprite 1 was our milkweed, if you notice the name. We didn't name it. We could have named it milkweed. So this tells the computer, move 5 steps and point towards that sprite. Let's try this out. Let's just see if this works. I'm going to hit the space bar, and it kind of pointed that way. Now, it went a little too far. I'm going to fix it. I know you were kind of coming up with a cool way to make it interactive to fix it, but I'm going to do it just by shortening how far it goes. And then the other thing is animation. So if you notice here in costumes, there's a costumes tab. There's an animation. There are 3 images for the butterfly. Now, I'm not making a smooth animation. The other day I was in a class. The student showed me some cool hints. We'll do that next week, how to better animate the wings of the butterfly. But I just wanted students to see that there are multiple costumes. And what we can do is every time it moves, we can tell the computer, can you switch the costume for the butterfly? And that's in the looks. And I like this next costume command. So this next. So I'm kind of saying, you know what? Move 5 steps, switch costumes. Let's check this out. Let's see what it looks like. Let's go full screen. I'm a hungry monarch. I'm going to hit the space bar, and it's kind of flying. Crazy. A little crazy. If I hit the space bar again. So I would fine tune this some more, but you can kind of see the butterfly image changing. Part of it is one of the images for the butterfly, one of the costumes is this kind of standing up one. So if you want your butterfly to kind of just have the wings flap, next week we'll kind of go in here and move the images of the wings. I urge anybody who wants to try that to enhance their animation. And some of you already know how to do that a little bit. And let's see. Help me name this. What can we call this one, Barrett? What do you think?
The Attack of the Monarch.
Attack of the Monarch. Nice. So I'm showing everyone, please name your project something. You will need to share it. Now watch what happens when I do. You'll see there's a save now, but the sharing will also save it. I'm going to click share, and it goes to the project page. This is important because you need to tell people what to do in the instructions. So click the green flag to go/play. And then remember, we added some interactivity, right? So press the space bar to see what happens. I don't like to give away all the secrets because we can add some more. And then if I want to add it to a studio, I have a lot of studios, so this is not going to be easy. But if you are part of this studio, you can add it here. I'm going to show you a different way. Once you've shared it, I'm going to go to the studio. Where is it? Here's the Saturday morning code. And I click on add project. So once, right now I've allowed anybody, so all of you can add projects. So there's Jack's Vaders. So even if your projects aren't done, please feel free to share. I'll show them if you'd like. But I'm clicking add projects, and you'll notice, hey, there's my project. Now, it's odd because it still says Untitled 2, but let's see. So I'm closing. So just so people see, add projects. And I'll leave the studio open for now. I'll delete stuff if it's inappropriate, but I'm hoping people here that have attended today or watched the video can add it. Let's go back to my Attack of the Monarchs. And if you want to go back to the code, that's called See Inside. Okay, so we've kind of got a simple start. We did a lot of intro material today. I like the idea of people doing the Monarch. This one kind of just flies towards the Milkweed. And one last thing, let's play a sound. When it gets and says, let's see, I'm going to click on the butterfly. What do you suggest on the butterfly? So I'm clicking on the butterfly. I want it when it finishes moving going towards the Milkweed to say, play a sound. So I'm clicking sound. This is the pop. I think, Varian, you can't hear that, but I'm going to pick a different sound from the library. Do you have any recommendations? Special effects. What was that?
You could try Chomp.
Oh, Chomp. Yeah. Chomp, yes. Chomp. Yeah. Oh, there we go. You hear the... Oh, I like that. Okay, so I've added the Chomp sound to my library. So before there was a pop, there's a Chomp. I want people to know you can record your own voice in Scratch. Have a lot of fun with that. We'll be doing that in some future projects here. Don't worry, this is just the beginning. This is the first one. And then we need to use the sound block. So I want to do a play Chomp until done. Now, I don't want to just play it once. It's kind of a slow sound. Let's do a 10 repeat Chomp. I'll move some of this code so you guys can see it better. I'll do this one later. I'll move that out of the way. So here's what I'm doing. So I'm doing a 10 repeat. Here we go. So it's going to fly. It'll get there. And it chomps 10 times. I might do 5. All right, this is where parents are like, oh my gosh, the sounds are driving me crazy. You can have some fun with it. All right, so I think I'm kind of good there. I'm going to do a save now. Let's go share some projects. Let's see if we got Jack's Vaders. Let's see, he's got, there we go. There's my untitled one. Ooh, we've even got one from Fortnite 9000. Sweet. All right, let me go Jack's Vader first. Let's check this out. Save milkweeds. Yes, what a great message. Let me make sure. I'm going to go. It says click the green flag and enjoy. Yeah, I like that you gave it. I'm going to give it a heart and a like already. You can give comments. Code on. Thanks for joining today. Keep creating. All right, let's check this out. Now, Scratch projects, sorry, I think, yeah, on the screen you're seeing, if you play it, the colors are messed up. So the greens are kind of off. So this dark stem, he does have his green because I'm looking on my other screen. Here we go, full screen. Here we go. Can you help me save milkweeds? Awesome. Tasty because they're food. I'm running out of food. Planting and don't pull out. What a great message project you created. Awesome. And what I really like is, boom, the artwork. Wonder what I should eat for lunch. They are not weeds. Nice. Yeah, think about how many people can learn from your project. I love it. Love it. Nice job. Now, here's what's kind of cool is if you ever want to see, oops, oh, I'm clicking in the wrong place. If you ever want to see inside and look at somebody's code, you can see how they did it. You can see the sprite that he drew. Nice artwork. I like it. I like it. and the butterfly as well. So I was definitely going to say, hey, you could change the colors to make it look like a monarch. I didn't do that on mine, but you can go into the costumes and do that. Nice job. Good job. Thanks for posting that. Let's see what else we've got. I like it. I like it. Ah, it's not going back. Let me go back to the studio. Oh, it gave me a little pop-up that I couldn't see. Fortnite, can I look at yours? Is that all right if I do that? Anybody else want me to share theirs? I'm going to take a quick look, even if you... Duck lovers. Duck lovers in the chat. All right, hold on. Let me go back to the studio. Let's take a look at... we did save the Milkweed. Stick skater jumper. What? This is not from today, is it? Oh, I like your skateboard. I'm going to check it out. Oh, wait. I have to play? This is your game. All right. This is a game created before. Hold on. I'm really bad. Let me stop. All right. So he's added some animation in this one. Yeah. All right. I'm really bad at this game. All right. So I like that you shared this. It's not part of our project from today, which is what I think is cool that you share it for people to see. You can create anything in Scratch. Doesn't have to be the Milkweed one. I'm hoping you're working on one. I like that you shared that. You can look in the code. We'll be creating some more projects like that as well. Some games and interactivity. You can kind of see we started with that. Next week we'll make the Milkweed one even more interactive and show you how to go to different levels. One of the things I did want to do is, hold on tight here while I go all right, let's go. So Varen's still there, don't worry. But I did want to share something about what's new, right? So in Scratch, I would feel terrible if I didn't mention a couple things. In Scratch, if you go to, when you first log in and you go to the main window, there's Introducing Scratch Lab right here. So I recommend you try Scratch Lab. So this is completely new. I didn't get a chance to play with it today, but I want you to check it out. It's a space for them to test new blocks. So they've added a new animated text block. So you can kind of see what it looks like here. And you can try it out. And then this is one of the coolest. Now this is hard to do because I'm using my camera. So I would have to pre-record some code, and I'm thinking of doing that next week. Put in the chat if you think I should do that, and I would record a little video of my coding of how I did this. But you can put objects to follow your face. So since I'm using the camera now, I can't really get that code to work and show you, but definitely I encourage you to try it out. So Scratch Lab, don't forget how to get there and try those blocks. Since they are experimental, if you read the questions and answers, the FAQ, frequently asked questions, it tells you about how you can save it locally, but you can't put it in the studio because they are experimental. So I think they'd love to hear feedback from people. And then the other important thing about February is code.org is one of the other groups. It is important, right? They put it's Black Voices for Computer Science. Black History Month is in February. I should turn this what's new thing off. There's a great video that they have on their site celebrating diversity in computer science. So I think the more all of us can share and making sure everyone's aware of this great way to create stories in your community, everyone has friends, share the word. I think it's important we spread that out. So I just wanted everybody to be aware of things that are new that's going on around us. So try that out in Scratch Lab. Varen's camera is off. This is kind of the wrap up. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for joining us. Probably went a little bit over. And this video will be available later for others to watch. So tell your friends. We'll be back next Saturday. The emails for your parents to contact me. If you would like to be an assistant coach like Varen was in one of the videos, just need permission forms and things like that. I am looking for others to join and help share their experiences in Scratch. So join V and I in this endeavor to share in the live stream. So we would love to see you. Hope you had fun. Keep creating and code on. That's my CO. And Varen, thanks for joining. Hopefully you're there. V.
Hi.
Oh, there he is. All right. Thanks so much,
My
everybody.
camera isn't working.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Saturday.
Bye.